Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Kodeations coming at you today with another video, ladies and gentlemen. And today, baby, we've got Hero Summoner. That is right. We're going to be coming at you today with a early game tier list. I know it's super early in the game, but we have been able to work with free to play or F2P in the Discord, Deluxy and John, and we were able to put together this awesome early game tier list. Now, shout out to all three of them. They have done a massive amount of research to make sure that these heroes that we are presenting to you today are easy to obtain, the easiest to obtain in their standpoint, and the best that you can utilize at early game stages, and some of them even can carry into that late game stage. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into the video. All right, first things up, we're going to be taking a look at Tabitha. So Tabitha is going to be the free priest that you get early game. But, ladies and gentlemen, do not sleep on her. I'm telling you right now, she is phenomenal. So she is actually going to be a really good early game tank. So even though she is technically specialized as a priest, she has a self-heal. She does a decent amount of damage. And she is one that you should not feel bad about taking her to 9-star because she is just that vital and that crucial early game. Especially because she is given free to you multiple times, so you get those duplicates that you can actually push her forward. So again, very nice unit. Do not worry about using or building Tabitha because you're not going to regret it, I promise you. So that's going to be it for her. Moving on to the Flower Fairy. So if you are not building a Flower Fairy, I don't even know what you are doing in Hero Summoner. So this girl right now, 100% is super good early game. Especially, I think she can even go mid game. I haven't tested her late game, but the notes that I have here after speaking with several different players and veteran players that have been playing this game like free to play, or like free to play, I say it so weird, free to play, Deluxy and John, and all three of them have definitely gave this girl some credit. But Flower Fairy, dude, I'm telling you, she does an AoE, basically poison dot, does damage over time. As the further the rounds go, the more damage it does, and she is just absolutely awesome. So again, very, very nice. However, she is a slight glass cannon, so she does not have as much HP as some of the other DPS in the game, so you want to definitely put her in the back lineup of your team, and you want to be able to protect her with either support class like other healers and or definitely some beefy tanks or some aggro tanks just to give her that additional survivability. So again, that's going to be Flower Fairy. Do not sleep on her. You definitely want to take her at least into that mid game stage because she's going to be a very, very, very vital hero when it comes to putting AoE dots across the board for the enemy team to just shred them as the rounds go on. So again, very, very nice. Shout out to Flower Fairy. Moving on. So the last but not least one for this section or for this faction is going to be the Auger, Auger, whatever you want to say his name is. Let me know down in the comments below because you know my English is my native language and I suck at it. But basically, shout out to this guy. So this guy is a decent, okay hero. He is one that I would not recommend taking past the 6-star rank, but you will get him early on. And I think one of the very first event rotations or recommended hero rotations that come on, at least when I came on playing this game, I did get him. And like I said, and you could get additional copies of him. But again, I would not recommend putting him through. But as an early game DPS, he is a very good choice, especially like I said, to pair with some other heroes like Flower Fairy or other ones, because this guy will at least be able to give your team a little bit of sustain. So again, not a bad unit to use, but definitely not the best unit to use. And like I said, use him, but only push him to that 6-star rank, and then you could just be done with him and feed him to like Flower Fairy or other DPS of that element type. So all right, moving on from the Leaf section, we're going to jump right over into the Orc section. So the Orc section, we're going to be taking a look at first. Nope, not him. The first one we're going to be looking at is going to be the Archdemon. So the Archdemon 100% is a very good DPS all the way through late game, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be one of those ones, like I said, that is an exception on this list. It starts off early game. If you happen to get him, do not be afraid to build this guy because he is very, very good. And like I said, and he will take you all the way through to the very, very end of the game. So again, and he also, one of the really big, awesome things about him is he has 100% CC on Priest, which is really, really good to have with so many other Priests out there that are both in PvP and PvE. So again, very, very nice kit, very, very nice unit. And this is that ability that we were talking about, deals 149% damage, attack damage to all enemies with a 100% chance to stun priest targets for 2 rounds. Ladies and gentlemen, stun in general and CC in general in this game is absolutely a must. A PvE, PvP, it does not matter. CC is going to wreck, just absolutely shred. So again, very, very nice. And not only that, it affects priest. How OP is that, ladies and gentlemen? That it affects priest. It affects the enemy's healers on the team. And so if it's shutting down those healers for 2 rounds, guess what? They're not healing. They're not being able to put anything off. So they're just getting smacked by your enemy or by your team. And therefore you're going to win. And awesome. Congratulations. You pulled Archdemon. You got several copies of it. You better build him. Because if you don't, then you're sleeping and you're going to die and you're going to get passed up. But second on the list is going to be our Leviathan. So we're going to go right here to our lovely little snaky snake guy. But the Leviathan here is, again, another wizard, but he is very, very good. He is an awesome CC unit, and he is very, which CC is very vital, obviously, as I mentioned before. So he's a very good CC unit, and he's just very good damage overall unit to have and pick up. Nothing really too special with him, but like I said, he does have a really good CC kit, and CC does dominate in this game. So again, very, very nice. Shout out to the Leviathan. Last but not least for this one, we are going to be doing the Behemoth. Now, the Behemoth, again, is going to be a warrior class, so he is technically classified as a tank. And not only that, he is a top tier tank, ladies and gentlemen. So on my notes here, I've got him wrote down top tier. He's got awesome survivability, and he adds CC to your tank slot on a team. If the rest of your team comp is lacking that CC, Behemoth is not a bad way to go, because you get that tankiness, you get that survivability, and last but not least, you do get to add that additional CC to your team. So again, very, very nice. Shout out to the Behemoth on that one, and he is going to be a awesome unit. Do not sleep on him, ladies and gentlemen, otherwise it will be a mistake. So next up on the list is we're going to be looking at the Undead section. So we're going to click on the Undead section, and up at the top left-hand corner, we've got Irian. So Irian, my girl. So she is going to be another priest, but ladies and gentlemen, do not sleep on her, especially if you are using Tabitha, because it is not a bad idea to run 2 different priests depending on the team comp that you are currently running, because priests can have different roles, not just specifically due to healers. So again, very, very nice unit. She basically, the game gives you a lot of copies of Irian early on. That's why she's definitely recommended to build, because you're going to get multiple copies, which means you can star raise her a lot quicker and sooner than you can other heroes. But the other thing is she's a very good healer that puts out decent DPS. So she's not only going to pop off some heals, but she's also going to be able to do some decent DPS. She's not just going to be like a glass cannon and just be able to pop off a bunch of heals, but then she dies really, really quick and easy, which makes her not very viable. But no, Irian is definitely a must-have and must-use early game for most players. If you don't have an Irian on your team starting out, then I don't even know what you're doing in this game. Again, you need to make sure that you have one of these bad boys. You can always trade her off to something else later on in the Undead faction, but I'm telling you, do not sleep on her, especially early game, because she is going to be really, really crucial to use and to progress as fast as possible. So again, that's going to be Irian. Next one on the list is going to be Lilith. So she is technically classified as a tank, and she is a top tier tank, but she definitely doesn't look like a tank to me, in my opinion. When you look at her, she has absolutely no heavy armor on. She is using light armor, devs. Come on. Put a suit on this woman. Put a heavy armor suit on this guy or this chick if she is going to be a tank. But nevertheless, she is definitely a tank. She's a top tier tank, and she adds DPS to your team to that tank spot, because she does not only does DPS, but she's also a tank. So again, very, very nice. Shout out to Lilith. Nothing too special here, just big dick damage. Add a tank stake slot. Again, add it to your team. It's going to help you out. Next thing is going to be the Undead Lord. So last but not least here, we're going to be taking a look at the Undead Lord for the Undead section. Now, the Undead Lord is kind of unique in his abilities, but he does great burst damage, especially when it gets to those later rounds, that 3rd and 4th round, that he's going to be a really good unit to have just to do basically a massive burst AoE damage. And again, very, very nice, not a bad unit to have. And like I said, his kit is a little bit special, so you got to kind of work your team comp around his kit. But again, a very good unit and one to mention for sure, especially if you get those duplicates hits early on. So, all right, moving on from the undead section, we're going to move into the last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, terrain section of the game, and that is going to be the number one on the list is going to be Kdar. So 100% Kdar is going to be a very good unit because, ladies and gentlemen, he is exactly like a flower fairy, but he is a fire mage. That's the only difference pretty much with this guy. He is going to be really good as far as damage dealing, especially for those rounds that go on and on and on, or the matches that go a lot further in rounds, because his ability, as you can guess, just because it's like the other one, he basically does fire damage over time and not poison. So instead of it being poison, it's just fire damage, but the further the rounds go on, the more damage and the more dots that stack up, the more damage that the fire is actually doing. So again, very, very nice unit, especially for those DOTs over time. That's going to be Kdar. So next up on the list is actually going to be your crazy lady here that I don't even know how to pronounce her name, and I'm not going to pronounce this name, but take note that she is the only assassin that is currently on the list right now, but nevertheless, she is going to be phenomenal unit to build early game. Now, what does her kit look like? So basically, the reason why she's really good is because she is rocking a stun, an 80% stun, I believe it is. Take a look at this really quick. She rocks an 80% chance to stun wizard targets, which definitely are going to be OP for damage in this game. So again, very, very nice ability. She's going to have that stun ability, but the cream of the crop ability, or the crazy ability that she get, is actually the hunting trap. And so it says when own attack is evaded, launch a certain attack or hit attack. Yeah, certain hit. That's kind of goofy, whatever. But you know, she basically, all she does is if she misses her attack, she basically nukes that target that made her miss. So again, very, very nice unit. She's kind of a specialty kind of item, but overall she does really, really good damage. And like I said, she's really good late game when you go up against some of those centaurs. Her nuke ability is just ridiculously good because those centaurs make you miss if you don't already know. So really, really good unit to build and to focus and to check out of the terrain lineup. So the next up on the list is going to be where's this fat boy at? So this Malphite. So again, he is labeled as a priest, but he is actually more of like a wizard in the game. Remember when I said before, the priest actually can fit different roles. They're not all just specifically designed for heals. And that's a prime example of this guy right here. So he's not really a priest. He's more of a wizard. They classify him as a priest, but he does really good damage and he does even better CC. So his abilities, just to give you guys an example, attack reduces the evasion of the target by 24% for 3 rounds. Deals attack damage to all of the back row enemies, 30% chance to petrify the targets for 2 rounds. Again, just making them be stunned. They can't use any abilities. And then basically he gets when his own HP is lower than 50%, he increases his own attack by 80% for 3 rounds. So again, a very, very nice damage dealing unit. And like I said, even though he's labeled as a priest, he's definitely classified as a wizard in our book. So you have it there, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it for our tier list. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys have any other additional comments, or if you have any additional heroes that you'd like to shout out or ask about, feel free to drop them down in the comment below, or shout out to us on Discord. If you're not in the official Hero Summoner Discord, then you need to get in there. I've got links in my description below. And if you have not checked out this video, please be sure to use the link in the description below. It helps me out. It helps out the channel. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get a notification every time I drop a video. And ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys on the next one.